Hey everybody, my name is Hannah Presley and I am coming to you today from my backyard, and I wanted to share a story with you called The Three Bears by Paul Galdon. And I bet some of you may have heard this story before. It is a classic book that's been around for a long time, but it is still a wonderful book for children and adults, people of all ages. I also brought with me this cute teddy bear. He's been around for a long time too. He belongs to my husband. He's soft, he's fluffy, he's very well loved and worn. You can see his nose is already coming apart and had to be sewed up, but I thought he would be a fun friend for us during this story. All right, The Three Bears. Here we go. Once upon a time, there were three bears who lived together in a house of their own in the woods. You see those bears swinging next to their cabin? One of them was a little wee bear. One was a middle-sized bear, and the other was a great big bear. See, that looks like a mama bear, a daddy bear, and a baby bear. They each had a bowl for their porridge. The little wee bear had a little wee bowl. The middle-sized bear had a middle-sized bowl. And the great big bear had a great big bowl. They each had a chair to sit in. The little wee bear had a little wee chair. The middle-sized bear had a middle-sized chair, and the great big bear had a great big chair. See, they're all reading their books and rocking in their chairs. And they each had a bed to sleep in. The little wee bear had a little wee bed. The middle-sized bear had a middle-sized bed. And the great big bear had a great big bed. One morning, the three bears made porridge for breakfast and poured it into their bowls. But it was too hot to eat, so they decided to go for a walk in the woods until it cooled. While the three bears were walking, wonder what happened? A little girl named Goldilocks came to their house. See the girl with the blonde hair? First, she looked in the window, and then she peeked through the keyhole. Of course, there was nobody inside. Goldilocks turned the handle of the door. Ooh, wonder what she's gonna find. The door was not locked because the three bears were trusting bears. They did no one any harm and never thought anyone would harm them. So Goldilocks opened the door and went right in. There was the porridge on the table. It smelled very, very good. Goldilocks didn't stop to think whose porridge it was, so she went straight to it. See her there looking at the porridge? You think she was hungry? First, she tasted the porridge of the great big bear, but it was too hot. Then she tasted the porridge of the middle-sized bear, but it was too cold. And then she tasted the porridge of the little wee bear. It was neither too hot or too cold. She liked it so much that she ate it all up. Then Goldilocks went into the parlor to see what else she could find. Yum. There were 3 chairs. First, she sat down on the chair of the great big bear, but it was too hard. Then she sat on the chair of the middle-sized bear, but it was too soft. Then she sat down in the chair of the little wee bear. It was neither too hard nor too soft, but just right. Goldilocks liked it so much that she rocked and rocked until the bottom of the chair fell out. Down she went, plump onto the floor. Goldilocks went into the bedroom where the three bears slept. Oh my goodness. Can you believe that chair just broke into pieces? First, she lay down upon the bed of the great big bear, but it was too high at the head for her. See the big bed? Then she lay down upon the bed of the middle-sized bear, but it was too high at the foot for her. Then she lay down upon the bed of the little wee bear. It was neither too high at the head nor too high at the foot, but just right. Goldilocks liked it so much that she covered herself up and fell fast asleep. By this time, the three bears thought their porridge would be cool enough, so they came home for breakfast. See, they're outside and decided to come home and eat their porridge. I bet they're hungry. Goldilocks had left the spoon of the great big bear in his porridge bowl. He noticed it first thing. "Somebody has been tasting my porridge," said the great big bear in his great big voice. Goldilocks had left the spoon of the middle-sized bear in her porridge too. "Somebody has been tasting my porridge," said the middle-sized bear in her middle-sized voice. Then the little wee bear looked into his bowl. "Somebody has been tasting my porridge and has eaten it all up," said the little wee bear in his little wee voice. The three bears went into the parlor. Goldilocks had left the cushion crooked in the chair of the great big bear. He noticed it first thing. "Somebody has been sitting in my chair," said the great big bear in his great big voice. Goldilocks had squashed down the cushion in the chair of the middle-sized bear. Somebody has been sitting in my chair," said the middle-sized bear in her middle-sized voice. Then the wee little bear looked at his chair. "Somebody has been sitting in my chair and has sat right through it," said the little wee bear in his little wee voice. The three bears went into the bedroom. Oh my goodness, can you believe that? Goldilocks had pulled the pillow of the great big bear out of place. He noticed it first thing. "Somebody has been lying in my bed," said the great big bear in his great big voice. Goldilocks had pulled the blanket of the middle-sized bear out of place. "Somebody has been lying in my bed," said the middle-sized bear in her middle-sized voice. What do you think they were thinking? Who could have been in their beds? Then the little wee bear looked at his bed. "Somebody has been lying in my bed, and here she is," cried the little wee bear in his little wee voice. This woke Goldilocks up at once. There were three bears all staring at her. Ooh, I bet that was scary to wake up to. What would you do if you woke up from your nap and three bears were staring at you? Goldilocks was so frightened that she tumbled out of bed and ran to the open window. Out she jumped, and she ran as fast as she could, never looking behind her. No one knows what happened to Goldilocks after that. As for the three bears, they never saw her again. Wow, what a fun story. Have you ever heard that story? I wonder where Goldilocks went. I'm sure she was frightened. But at least she got some porridge and got a little nap. I guess she had a fun adventure that day and probably was too afraid to ever come back to visit the three bears again. All right. Well, I hope y'all enjoy this story. This bear says, bye bye. Have a great day.